Hello, everybody. I'm coming to you today from an environment again that's going to be a little bit distracting, and it's for a reason. There's some nature back here, and you may be able to hear some wind. We're having wind, and it fits with what I want to get at today. For those people, however, who don't know who I am and who are seeing this on YouTube, this is part of our membership service, which you can learn about at michaelgurian.com, and you click the membership page, and it lays it all out there, and you can join our Gurian community. Video clips, video blogs, and strategies like today's, podcasts, blogs, all sorts of material that we believe is part of this revolution. And the revolution is in the use of brain science and the use of gender brain science. So not just brain science, that's really revolutionizing, I think, the way that we raise kids and understand each other now, but also the science of boys and girls, the science of women and men. And so this is a strategy that grows out of that revolution, and I first started teaching this just under 30 years ago when I understood it from connecting the science to the in-classroom observations. And then I started putting this forth in books. We started this at Gonzaga University and then University of Missouri, Kansas City. And now over the last 20 years, the Gurian Institute has taken this into schools and into homes. So as part of this revolution, one of the core brain facts about male and female is that the female brain does words and word production. That's reading, writing, speaking, is doing that on both sides of the brain. And males are doing that on the left. So that just basic brain fact is very important, and it's what sets this strategy up. Because males are only doing it on the left, and because females are doing it on both sides, this is one of the nature reasons in our nature-nurture culture configuration. It's one of the nature reasons that we find about a 10% gap in literacy for males worldwide. So, and hopefully you can start hearing these distractions, because they're part of this, part of why this is such a great strategy. And I haven't gotten to the strategy yet. It's coming. So because of this brain difference, I learned about this, and then I started observing in our classrooms and trying to figure out, okay, why is it, from a brain-based point of view, that often, sometimes, the strategies teachers are using in the areas of reading and writing especially are not working as well for males as females. And this observation turned into a strategy. So the observation is that males and females are both being told, okay, now write something. Okay, now read this. Though that necessitates word production. They're both being told this. But if you have a classroom of 25, and if you're a parent or grandparent, you can go observe a classroom. If you're a teacher, you'll probably have observed this already. If you have a classroom of 25, our research shows in that classroom of 25, if you give that prompt solely in a verbal manner, hey, I want you to write about this, I want you to write about To Kill a Mockingbird, I want you to write about Atticus Finch, I want you to write about what you did over the weekend, I want you to write about Leonardo da Vinci. Whatever it is, if you give it as a verbal prompt, solely as a verbal prompt, it's going to go in sensorially, obviously, to both boys and girls, but it's going to get parsed in the female brain. She's going to hear it, feel it, think about it on both sides of the brain, and then connect the word centers to the memory centers in the midbrain on both sides of the brain, and the sensorial centers, all of which are very, very important, and all of which are going to help her to write something really good in this very distracting universe. And it's a distracting universe, or distracted universe, that you're seeing on this video clip. You got light coming in this way, you've got all these things. Well, kids, right, they're trying to perform, and often in a distracting, in a distractible world. But the female brain has more access to this word production and then the connections in the memory and the sensorial centers of the brain. So it makes sense that if you give 25 students that prompt and you just say start writing, that you will observe we observe at least 5 of the boys given that prompt are going to have trouble. Maybe one girl, but at least 5 boys are going to be staring at the page. They're going to get frustrated. They're not going to be able to access. And I believe the reason for this is that we only gave a verbal prompt. So in the female brain, it went into both sides. In the male brain, it only went over on the left. And we have to sort of get lucky in that brain that he can connect to the memory centers, sensorial centers, etc. here, where she's doing it on both sides. So she has more of a fail-safe to perform well in this. So if males are doing the verbals on the left, what are they doing on the right? Well, one of the things they're doing on the right is visuals, what we call visual graphics or visual spatials. So the visual centers and a lot of connection to information that's visual, that's big for males and for the male brain, and that's part of what males are doing on the right. So the reason I developed this strategy was so that teachers, parents, working with kids on homework, whatever it is, if you want them to produce words, you can use this strategy to help them. And what you're doing in the female brain is you're doing no harm. She has visual centers. This is a good strategy for her. But in the male brain, you're doing even more good, because then you're getting both sides of his brain involved. So this strategy is a visual strategy, so it's going to connect with the right side of his brain and activate the right side, while the verbal prompt, I want you to write about Atticus Finch, is already connecting on the left. So the strategy is have the guys, and you can offer this to the girls or anyone really, but say to them, all right, I want you to write about Atticus Finch, but I want you to do a storyboard first. Or take a piece of paper, like you see this piece of paper, and draw 2 lines through it, and then 1 line this way, and now I want you to draw what you're going to write. So here's Atticus Finch, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, as you conceive it and as you remember it from reading To Kill a Mockingbird. And of course, here's a yellow pad. You can do it on a yellow pad. It's very easy to do. You divide it, help them, you have to teach them this initially, but then they'll do it themselves, and help them to divide it up and to be thinking about it in these parcels that are also visual, because they're drawing it. And they don't have to be good drawers or anything, but the drawing is going to activate the right side just as much as the words activate the left side. And so for guys, they're now activating both sides of the brain, and whereas females were already activating both sides of the brain from the word prompts. So this would all be, silly to talk about if we didn't actually have success data. So when you apply this, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a parent helping with homework, you're going to see what we have seen. What we started seeing 20 years ago in our pilot in Missouri with those 6 school districts, and now what we've seen since. And you can access the success data in my books, Boys and Girls Learn Differently, Saving Our Sons, Minds of Girls. You can access it there and on the website GurianInstitute.com. So these success strategies, they really work. And kids will go from D's and F's because they can only write like 5 sentences. But now, because they got the visual involved, the whole brain's involved, they're able to write 3 pages, You'll see guys organizing better now too, because they've divided it up. And so now they're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, intro, conclusion. So they're organizing it better too. So it improves their organization. All right, and I want you to know that in our membership service, I'm going to also provide a video strategy on this later that's going to show why this is so important with helping girls in STEM. Thank you, and I hope you'll join us, michaelgurian.com. Just click the membership button. Thanks.